So welcome. I'm glad you're here. I decided to make these videos to help you move better in your everyday life, and this will help with whatever kind of movement you're into, whether you're a yogi or an athlete. This will help make every kind of movement that you do better. So today's practice, we're going to be focusing on the core, and I'm going to approach the core in three ways that I really like to get into the core. Basically, the core, a practice for the core, is going to make you move better in every way that you move. So this basic idea is to be able to move from what we call proximal to distal when you have a good sense of your core. And there's three ways we're going to do that. The first way is through breathing more three-dimensionally, which is a beautiful way, a more dynamic way to access your core, and we'll get into that in a moment. The second way is through some specific core exercises that are really helpful for everybody to create more stability in your trunk and in your torso. And for that, we're going to use what the biomechanist and back specialist Stuart McGill calls the big three. And everybody should know these core exercises. And then the third we're going to do is a practice for awakening the spine, bringing more intelligence to our spine so that any kind of movements that we do from there, when we understand an intelligent, awake spine, is going to be essentially moving from what we call spine-centric, so moving from your spine. So I found these three approaches to be really helpful, and I hope you will too. So let's get started. We're going to start lying down on our backs. And as we like to say, we start by stopping. So this first thing I'd like you to do is just get really comfortable on your back. You can have your knees bent or straight, but just come into a relaxed position. Your arms can be a comfortable distance away from your body. Your feet also a comfortable distance away from your body. And we're just going to begin by noticing our physical structure on the floor. So notice the way that your body makes contact with the floor. How does your head make contact with the floor as you lie on your back? How do your shoulders and your shoulder blades make contact with the floor? So you can close your eyes so you're really getting into the feeling of this contact, noticing how your spine makes contact with the floor. How does your rib cage, the circular basket of your ribs, make contact with the floor? Your pelvis, how does the two halves of your pelvis make contact with the floor? So we're starting to build this skill which we call proprioception. So the ability to feel yourself in space, so vital to good movement. And then noticing how the long bones of your legs, your femur bones, make contact with the floor. Right side, left side, the lower leg bones, the shin bones. And then noticing the weight distribution in your feet. And then I want you to zoom out, so pan out and just notice your whole body, how it's making contact with the floor. So this skill of feeling yourself in space as this pulsing, dynamic, organic being. And then a little bit of what we call interoception, and the easiest way to access that internal sense is through your breathing. So let's go there now. So start to notice your breath. Notice where you feel your breath. Is it more in your chest or your belly? Do you notice it more on the sides or maybe the back? Notice the quality. Is it deep? Is it shallow? Is it fast? Is it slow? Just starting to really tune into your breath. Good. So now we're going to start to use the breath to access this first way of accessing, this first gateway or doorway into our core. So what I would like you to do is just find the bottom of your exhale. So exhale all of your air out. So finishing the next exhale, I'll follow along with you here. And then placing your hands on your belly, let's take an inhale through the belly. So let the belly expand with the inhale, and then exhale all of your air. You'll notice as you really work the exhale is that there's a contraction in the muscles, the deep muscles of your core as you breathe out. And then we release that and we breathe into the belly. So let's do one more like that. Exhale all of your air out. Try to find the very bottom of your exhale and notice how even the pelvic floor muscles contract at the bottom of the exhale. Good. So now we're going to move the breath up into the chest. So we'll exhale all the air out. And then let's inhale first into the belly and then into the chest. Feel the chest rising. And then exhale and let all the air out. Squeeze the air out more dynamically. And then again, inhale belly and then the chest. So you're filling belly and then chest, and then you're emptying the chest and emptying the belly. Inhale belly, inhale chest, and then exhale, let all the air out. Now let's move into the side ribs. So we're going to exhale all of our air, and then together we'll inhale into the belly, the chest, and the side ribs, and then exhale the side ribs, the chest, and the belly. Let's repeat that. Inhale belly, chest, side ribs, and exhale, let go the side ribs, the chest, and the belly. Let's do one more like that. So belly fills, chest fills, then the side ribs fill, and then we'll exhale all of our air out. Squeeze the bottom of the exhale. Now, the last part of this, more three-dimensionally into the back. So we're going to inhale belly, chest, side ribs, and then finally into the back. Really push the air into the back, and then exhale, back, side ribs, chest, and belly. Do another couple like that on your own. Inhale, belly, chest, side body, back body, and exhale, back, sides, chest, and belly. Go again. As you're doing this, it might first feel kind of odd and mechanical. That's okay. Just try to work almost, it'll feel a bit robotic at first. And you're really finding that it's like you're inflating a balloon on all sides. And then letting, like really squeezing, exaggerating the exhale and feeling the bottom of your breath. Do one more of this 4-part, 3-dimensional breath, getting all sides of your body. And then exhale all of your air out. Very good. Okay, so let's inhale and stretch the arms, stretch the feet. So you're unifying your body as one. 3-dimensional inhale. And then let's exhale as we bend the right knee. So keeping the left leg straight. This will keep our spine in a neutral position. Then we're going to slide our hands underneath the lower back, the part that's curved off the floor, not the pelvis, with the lower back. Now this will be the first of our big 3 core exercises. So we're going to inhale 3-dimensionally, belly, chest, sides, and back. Now as we exhale, we're going to lift the head, upper back, and chest off the floor. If it bothers your neck, you can use one of your hands to support your head. The breaths will be more compressed, a little shorter, but still try to breathe 3-dimensionally. So belly, chest, sides, and back. It'll be shorter, but you're still expanding into all sides. Hold here, still breathing. Shorter, more compressed breaths. Good. Exhale, coming down. And then we'll inhale, reach the arms, feet together. And we'll exhale, bend the left knee, slide the hands underneath the lower back again, lift the head off the floor, upper back off the floor, and we're working here. So this first of the big 3 is designed to create intra-abdominal pressure. So we're pushing down, which is going to make the breath and the diaphragm a little shorter, but we're learning to get this feeling of containment in a neutral spine in our torso. So hold it here. Take one more 3-dimensional breath. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, right knee bends. We'll go back to the first side, lifting the head, lifting the upper back. Try to take the bottom tips of your shoulder blades off the floor. And if you can, try not to use your elbows to support you. So elbows are a little bit off the ground. We're holding here. Feel the compression in your abdomen. And exhale down. Inhale, reach the arms and legs. 3-dimensional breath. Exhale for the last time. Slide the hands under the legs. Bend the left knee and lift the head. Lift the upper back. Lift the shoulder blades. Lift the elbows. So you're holding here. Breathe into all sides of your torso. Feel almost like you're creating this compressed balloon feeling in your torso, in the bottle body, the cylinder of your torso. One more deep inhale. Exhale, come down. We're going to inhale, stretch the arms and legs. Good. And then we'll exhale as we roll onto our right side. Rolling onto the right side, placing your elbow underneath your shoulder, just slightly in front. We're going to bend our knees, and we'll try to create a straight line from knees to hips to shoulders to head. So that means bring your hips forward, your ribs in, and your head back. So now dynamically with the breath, we're going to inhale, come up with the hips, up with the arm, with the left arm. Exhale, bring the left elbow to the hip. Good. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. And then inhale up, and we're going to stay up, and we'll place the left hand behind the head. We're going to add a little bit of pressure, pushing the head back into the hand and keeping the ribs in. If this is hard to do, you can keep your shoulders and hips on the floor, and you're doing kind of a banana shape lifting up. So you're creating the same containment in the second of the big three on the side without lifting your body weight. Good. And exhale and come all the way down. And then we're going to switch sides over to the left side, putting the left elbow down, center your body. So the knees, hips, shoulders, and head in the same line. And then we'll inhale up and exhale down. Tap the right elbow to the hip. Inhale up, exhale down. Follow your breath. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. We'll stay up, bending the elbow behind the head to add a little bit of feedback. So push the head back gently. Keep the ribs in, hips forward. So you can use your glutes, the back of your core, to engage. Holding here. Feel the breath in the sides of your body. And exhale, we're going to come all the way down. Let's go back to the first side, back to the right side. You can repeat the same thing again on the elbows and knees. You can scale it down if it's difficult by doing this sort of side sit-up or side crunch. Or for those of you who want to scale it up a little bit, you can straighten your legs and also straighten your elbow or just stay on your elbow. Okay, so same thing, we're going to inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. One more time, inhale up. We'll stay up, bending the elbow behind the head. Push the head back. Draw the ribs in. Drop the shoulders. Press the shoulder blades apart. Breathe here. Breaths will be shorter because you're creating intra-abdominal pressure. And exhale, come all the way down. Switching to the other side. Again, you can scale it up or down depending on what works for you. So it should always feel good for you. Go at your own pace. So inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. 3 more. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Last one, inhale up, exhale, bend the elbow, getting feet back, push the head back. The ribs will tend to pop, so keep the ribs in, engage the glutes, tighten up the core, but breathe dynamically, three-dimensionally. So you're not holding your breath. Good, and exhale and release. Now we're going to come on to all fours for the last of the big three. So if your knees are sensitive, you can always double up the ends of the mat, okay, or use a blanket. From here, we're going to come into bird dog. So on the next inhalation, we're going to straighten our right leg and extend the left arm. Exhale and tap the elbow and knee together. So inhale, reach, and then exhale and tap. Inhale, reach, extend, activate the back of your core, exhale, and hug the knee and the elbow together. Inhale, reach, exhale, tap. 5 more, in, out, in, out. 3 more, in, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last time, inhale, extend, and then reset on the exhale. Let's try the other side. So left leg, right arm, inhale, exhale, tap. In, exhale, tap. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, I think we're at 5, exhale. In, out for 6. In, 7. Inhale, extend, expand, exhale, squeeze, 8. In, 2 more, out. In, out, and then inhale, extend, and exhale, reset. Very good. From here, we're going to walk our hands back, and we'll come all the way up to standing. Okay, so now we're going to work with the movements of our spine. So the first movement we're going to do is flexion, just like we did when we tapped the elbow to the knee. So I want you to round your head, dropping your head, round your spine. If you want to just stay here, you can, or you can use gravity to roll your hips over your legs. And just let yourself hang here. And then from here, we're going to roll up. So the head is the last thing that comes up. Once you get to vertical, take your hips forward and arch your spine. Good. Let's repeat that. So the head comes down. We're rolling down, vertebrae by vertebrae. And then we're going to open up the front of the spine. So the head is the last thing to come up. We call this Jefferson curls. And arch. Good. Now you can repeat that again a couple of times, or a few of you might want to work on the next progression, which is a spinal articulation or a spinal wave. So instead of going with a big global flexion and extension, we're going to try to segment each of the vertebrae, because we have 7 vertebrae in the neck, 12 in the thoracic spine, 5 in the lumbar, and then the pelvis is pretty much fused to the tailbone. So we want ideally to be able to have independence in each one of those joints. So the way that you can do, sometimes it's helpful to do this against the wall. So I just want you to imagine, so I can stay in the shot here, that you have a wall in front of you, okay? And I'll show you from the side. So if the wall is in front of you, you're going to stick your butt out back away from the wall so that you bring your chin to the wall. And if it's helpful, have your hands on the wall. Okay, here is my imaginary wall. So now I'm going to take my chest onto the wall, my ribs onto the wall, my belly onto the wall, my hips onto the wall, and then I reverse it. My hips go back and my chin comes forward. Chest forward, ribs forward, belly forward, and hips forward. So we're beginning to learn to segment the spine. Chin, chest, ribs, belly, hips. Once you begin to learn that with the feedback, you can just imagine that the wall is there in front of you. Okay? And for those of you who are really getting it, try to segment smoothly for the spinal wave each one of your vertebrae. Okay, so chin, chest, ribs, belly, hips. Now we're going to focus on the back body. So I want you to imagine the wall, and you can actually do it with your back against the wall. So now you're just going to take the back of your neck to the wall to start. So we're starting at the top, just like we did in the front. Then we're going to go down vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring the middle back or the upper middle back to the wall. Then the middle back, then the lower back, then really puff your pelvis into the wall, and then we come away from the wall and we start again. Neck, upper back, middle back, working down one vertebrae at a time like gears, working down. Try to create that intelligence in your spine. And then again, one more time. Neck, upper, middle, lower. Good. So once you get that feeling, again, if it's difficult, if you're building coordination, just go with that global feeling of arching and rounding. But once you get it, you can begin to wave the spine. So you're going up the front, chest, belly, and then we're going down the back, upper back, middle back, lower back. When we get to the bottom, we reset. Hips go back, chin, chest, ribs, belly, hips, and then I reset neck, upper, middle, lower. And see if you can get the rhythm. Becomes really groovy of the spinal wave. Beautiful movement to rehabilitate and bring health back, intelligence back to your spine. It's beautiful if you have back pain, and just as a great way to articulate your core, because in order to segment each vertebrae, I need a strong, intelligent core. Okay, beautiful. Let's go to the side now. So we're going to side bend down the left leg. And then we'll side bend down the right leg. Good. We're going to make it a little bit more now as we bring the right leg behind us. And we're going to reach up with the right arm and down with the left arm. Okay, so same idea, but we just increase the banana as we go for this second and third movement of the spine, the side bend one way and the other way. Good. Staying on this side, you can walk forward with the right leg. Good. And then walk back with the right leg. Beautiful. And then we come over and we step behind to start with the left leg. And we go over with the right leg. So it's kind of a variation. On the side bend, you're adding the leg, adding this little asymmetrical squat. And then we can take a step forward with that leg. So we get a slightly different part of the side bend here. And then stepping back. Breathe into your left side as you open. Good. And inhale and release. The last two movements we're going to do for the spine rotation. We're going side to side rotation. And you can either keep your feet where they are or begin to pivot your feet so that you get a little bit more of a full body rotation. Try to look over your shoulders. You can also pivot the feet on the heels if that feels more natural to you. You're just having a way to include the lower body from the lower body, so it's a little bit more of a turn from the feet all the way up. Last couple times, really look as far over as you can. Use your arms to create a little bit more leverage. Beautiful. Okay, well done. And then back to center. So that's the 6 movements of the spine. Now we'll do a little flow practice that incorporates the 3-dimensional breath, a strong, stable core, and the 6 movements of the spine. We're going to start standing with our feet either together or apart. Okay. From here, let's inhale and raise the arms. We're going to arch back a little bit to get some spinal extension. As you exhale, let's fold over into flexion and let the head hang freely here. Good. Inhale halfway up, and then we're going to step the right foot back into a lunge. So as we step the right foot back, go ahead and extend the head forward so you're getting that full extension from the hip. Good. Okay. And then exhale and go ahead and step back with your left leg. So from here, you can do a spinal wave from all fours. Okay. And the way to do the spinal wave, same way we did in standing. If you want to scale it up a little bit, you can turn that spinal wave into a kind of push-up variation where you go, it's like you're going under a fence into an arch, and then you can go back through the round and sit back on your heels. So let's do 3 of those. So it would be from all fours or under the fence, breathing 3-dimensionally as you go. Last one. Good. Okay, now on the last one, curl your toes under, push back through your heels, and we'll take downward facing dog. Okay, so beautiful thing about downward dog, it incorporates 2 more movements for the spine. So this last movement here is decompression. So we're letting the head hang towards the thumbs, and we're using the legs, so pushing the legs back, so it's like we're hanging off of our legs here. Okay, so I want you to imagine here that you really are telescoping your spine. So lengthen your hips and relax your head and feel the spaces, especially as you breathe into that 3-dimensional breath, that you're opening the telescope. As you exhale, you're relaxing your head and pressing back through your legs. Good. One more breath here. And on our exhale, we're going to step our right foot forward into the straight leg lunge, reaching forward through the head, back through the thigh. Inhale here, and exhale, step up. So you can fold over into flexion again. We're going to roll up, so the head is the last thing to come up. Inhaling, arching back, so you're taking a nice arch here. And exhale right away, let's fold over. We fold over, we let the spine round. On an inhale, we're going to lengthen, and on our exhale, we'll step back with the left foot into our straight leg lunge. So reaching, so really get the sense that you could reach and extend the spine a little longer through the back heel, forward through the head. And then we'll exhale and we'll step back to the right leg, and we'll do 3 spinal waves. So again, either just from all fours, articulating the spine, or you can go under the fence into your back arch, and then back through your hollow 3 times. Inhale through, exhale back. One more time. Inhale through, exhale back. Very good. And from here, we'll do downward dog. So getting some decompression in the spine. Beautiful. With your breath, 3-dimensionally expand in all directions. Nice. And then we're going to exhale all our air as we step the left foot forward. We're coming into a straight leg lunge here. And on our exhale, we're going to step forward and fold. Good. So now going through a few standing movements that will help us find these 6 movements of the spine, incorporating the 3-dimensional breath. We're going to step back with the left foot. And here it might be helpful to either have a couple of blocks, if you have a couple blocks, or you can also use the edge of a chair. Okay, so the chair you can place at the front of the mat or the wall at any height. Okay, so depending on your flexibility. So we have the right leg forward, we're inhaling to lengthen, and then as we exhale, we're rounding the back. So you're letting yourself round here. Okay, so this is the key with this first movement, this spinal flexion. Let your head hang and find this round. Okay, if you can go further, for those of you who are really bendy, you might walk your hands towards your back leg, but try not to lift your head. Let your head hang. Move your outer right hip back and your left kidney forward towards the inside of your right knee. Good. From here, we're going to inhale up, take a little longer stance, and we'll keep going up into our high lunge. So we're coming into the second movement of the spine. So now, because we're working our core here, as we wake up our spines, you're going to notice that your ribs might want to pop forward. So we're keeping our ribs integrated, keeping our belly lifted, and then we're going to reach up into this lunge position. So we're dropping the hips down, arching the spine, and finding a little bit more of a back arch. So your arms are going behind you any amount. So you're opening your thoracic spine, your upper back, using your arms. Your head can go back a little bit, make it continuous with the rest of the spine. Good, and then we're going to open up into our movement for our side bends. So we want to have our right knee, this is a warrior stance, over the heel, reaching our arms. We're going to inhale down the back leg, down the left leg. Exhale, we're going up and over towards the right knee. So we're inhaling up and we're exhaling over. Inhaling up, exhaling over. One more. Inhale up, lengthen the underside, the right side. Exhale over, and we're going to stay over as we lengthen the top side. Taking your hand, your left hand rather, behind your head, gently press back like we did with the side plank. At the same time, keep your ribs in, so you don't want to arch your back too much. Pull your ribs in, take your head back, sink down lower with your hips, and breathe. Beautiful. Okay, inhale, come all the way up. And then we're going to exhale as we turn towards our block or our chair. We want to make our stance a little wider. So now we'll come into the last two movements of the spine. So we're going to inhale, stretch up out of the back leg. As we exhale, we'll fold and place the hands either on the block or the edge of the chair. Okay? So the key thing is here, you want to try to keep a neutral spine. So that means your lower back is curved in. You want that neutral as we twist for this one. So either on the chair or on the block, whatever allows you to stay neutral, we're inhaling as we lengthen, and then as we exhale, we're going to begin to twist, open the chest. Okay. This can also be done with the front knee bend if you have really tight hamstrings, or just come up higher on the edge of the chair. Okay, you could even use the back edge of the chair. So we're turning and rotating the spine. If it's helpful to have the arm up to signal the direction of the twist, go ahead and take the arm up. Inhaling as you lengthen, exhale as you deepen your twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, deepen, and then inhale and release the twist. As you exhale, we're going to step the right foot forward and we'll fold, or the left foot forward again, and we'll fold over. Just taking a moment here as we transition to the other side. So here we're going to step the right foot back, and we're beginning the same 6 movements now on the other side, on the left side. So inhale as you lengthen, using the blocks or the chair. As you exhale, fold. Stay with your breath.
Notice how my back is rounded here. So I'm not trying to straighten my back. I let my back round. So I'm getting that length through the vertebrae, the back of the spine, as I pour my spine over my front leg. You can bend your front knee if you have really tight hamstrings. This is a really good way to open up, bring more length to your hamstrings by straightening the knee. Okay, but if it's really uncomfortable, go ahead and bend the knee a little bit. Okay, inhale up to the high lunge. So we're lifting the back heel, we're sinking down to the hips, and we're going to inhale the arms up. As the arms go up, we want to reach back, so we're opening the thoracic spine, the upper back, as we take the arms back. At the same time, keep the ribs in so you don't compress your lower back. So you're engaging the front of your core, which will help you to evenly open your spine. Okay, the front of your spine. Sink down low, lengthen your head back a little bit. Breathing deep here, three-dimensional breath. The breath can feel a little bit shorter, a little tighter, so you want to really expand three-dimensionally. And then on the exhale, we're opening up for the side bend. Okay, so the arms are extended. We're inhaling here, down the back leg, and as we exhale, come up and over, push your left elbow on your knee. Inhale up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale to the right. Exhaling to the left. Inhaling to the right. Exhaling to the left. And then we're going to come all the way to the left. We'll stay on the left and we'll bend the elbow behind the head. So getting that feedback, the head's going back, the ribs are coming in, hips are dropping down, and we're breathing into our side body, to the right side especially. Good. One more three-dimensional breath. Good. Exhale, looking down. Inhale, coming up, and change your stance to a slightly wider stance. So I'm going to take my back foot and step it out. Then I inhale, lift up, I stretch up my spine, and I exhale as I come forward. I'm going to grab either my blocks or the chair at any height, maintaining my neutral. So I just do a little neutral check with my lower back curved in, ribs dropped in or drawn in. From here, I'm twisting now to the left, so I'm going to inhale as I lengthen. The outer left hip comes back as I exhale and twist, like wringing out a towel. So inhale, head forward, hips back. Exhale as you twist. So using your breath, inhale, you can kind of come out of the pose a little bit, make it more about a three-dimensional expansion, telescoping the spine, and exhale, keep the back leg strong as you twist. One more deep inhale, lengthen. Exhale as you twist a little bit more. Inhale, begin to come out, unwind from the pose. Now exhale, we're going to plant our hands and we'll step back into downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, let's find that telescoping action in our spines again. Couple of breaths, you can pedal your legs. Good, and then we're going to drop our knees and we'll come into child's pose. Okay, so in child's pose, our hands can be by our feet and you're really rounding your spine here. If this does not feel good for your knees, you can always do the same movement lying on your back and just hugging your knees in. Okay, so here we're working just one more cycle of these 6 movements, building that intelligence in our spines, rounding the spine, okay? Either in child's pose on your back or in the more classic form, in that fetal position, on your front. Good. Okay, so now inhale up, and we're going to come into a kneeling position. And if you have blocks, you might use those blocks beside your ankles. Okay, so now I'm going to work with some spinal extension.
So I'm going to inhale as I lift up and lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, arch back a little bit more. Try to bend less from your lower back and more from your upper back. Hips are coming forward, so your hips are over your knees. So I'm inhaling, stretching up, and I'm exhaling back. Some of you might like to take your hands on your hips, or here's where the blocks can come in handy. Something to rest on. Okay, if you're really bendy, few of you might take your hands to your heels. Okay, but it's more about the integration now of our core, our three-dimensional breathing, with a strong sense of elongation as we bend back, as we arch back. A couple more breaths here, just exploring where you go to. So it's not, this movement's for everybody. It's not about being really flexible. It's just about understanding how your body moves. Good, and then we exhale and inhale back up. And then I'm going to go into my side bend. So I want to step my right foot out to the side, okay? And the blocks might be helpful if you have them. If not, you don't really need them. So from here, I'm going to inhale and come over as I reach down my right leg. And I'm going to exhale and reach up and over to the left. So I inhale to the right and I exhale to the left. So this could be like more of a linear movement, or I could make it a bit more circular as I go right to left. And it's okay as you go through center to let your hips fold a little bit, but try to take them forward as you're in the side bend. Good, and then we'll go to the right, and we're going to stay on the right, either with the hand on the block or on the shin. Take the hand behind the head, gently press back the head for feedback as you reach the left elbow up and over, the ribs come in. And you can alter the feeling of the side bend stretch by turning your navel either towards the floor or away from the floor. Good. Okay, let's inhale up and we'll exhale, bring it in and switch sides. So now my left foot comes out to the side. I have my blocks if I need them or my chair in place. I'm going to inhale over to the left and I'm going to exhale over to the right. So it's kind of like tick-tocking side to side. I can do it as more of a linear movement, or I can do it as more of a circular movement. Okay, the circular movement has a bit more fluidity to it. Okay. I'm going side to side a couple of times more. This movement feels really good for my body. So come over to the side. Now the left side, hand can be on the shin or on the block. We're going to inhale here, exhale, bend the right elbow, and we're pressing back a little bit with the hand. Ribs coming in, so we're creating that banana sensation on the sides. And you can create a little bit more length in the back of your side, the quadratus lumborum muscles, if you turn your navel to point down, and a little bit more length in the intercostals and the obliques in the front of the core as you turn the navel a little bit towards the sky. You might alternate. It's kind of a nice way to get three-dimensional. Good. Inhale all the way up, and then exhale and bring it back in. So for our last movement, we're going to do one of my favorite twists. So we're going to be sitting to begin with, and we're going to start twisting to the right. So I'm going to bend my left knee behind me. So I'm in this kind of modified 90-90 or kind of closed pigeon position. Okay, so my right knee is bent in front, my left leg is behind me. Okay, and then I'm going to turn my body. And what's so great about this twist is it's a stretching twist, so it's decompressive. Most twists, like wringing a towel, are a little bit more compressive. So this one is decompressive. So you're reaching out of your back leg. The first part, you just start to turn, walking your hands around. And then the second part, you can actually lift up off your hips and try to come onto the outside of your right hip. So you might even feel your outer right hip joint. And then you might get a little bit more rotation. Try to keep your throat open and you're turning and looking over to the right. Stay with your breathing here. Good. One more deep inhale. Exhale a little bit more of that stretching twist. And inhale, come back through center. And we'll switch to the other side. So now the right leg goes behind, left leg is in front. I'm twisting to the left. And the first part, I just kind of like, it's like I'm dipping my toe in. I test the waters, walking my hands around. Okay, second part, to go a little bit deeper, I want to actually physically lift my hips up and come onto the outside of the left hip. If you find it really uncomfortable to do this 90-90 position, you could also do it with crossed legs, okay? And you could even do it sitting up on some height like a chair or a block. Okay, so always feel free to prop up, modify the position. Shouldn't feel painful. Twisting now to the left, we look over the left shoulder. The inhale gives us more space to telescope the spine. And on the exhale, we twist a little bit more. Using your three-dimensional breaths to guide you. And one more inhale here. Exhale, twist a little bit more. Inhale as you release. Exhale and stretch your legs out. Good. Now we do a little relaxation. So the purpose of the relaxation is just so that you can integrate the work that we did. Okay, so you're lying down on your back. You can have your legs straight or bent if that feels more comfortable for you. If you had a chair for your practice, a nice variation might be to pull the chair in closer and just have your legs resting on the chair, making sure that your hips are on the floor so you can modify it as you need. Your arms are comfortable distance by your sides. And whatever variation you're in, just take this opportunity to come back to where we started, to just rest and feel your connection to the ground. Begin to slow your breath down here. So you're feeling your body in contact with the floor. And just let every part of your body, your forehead, your jaw, your shoulders, your face, your arms and your torso, your legs and your feet, let everything just rest. See how much you can rest. When we rest, when we engage with deep rest states, we're integrating. So we know through neuroscience, the body and the nervous system has some plasticity to it. There's actually 2 stages to that neuroplasticity of learning these skills of movement and ease of movement. To learn these movements and to become more neuroplastic in your nervous system, we need to explore movement in a novel way and to have this sort of wide open practice of
exploration. So we can't be too narrow doing the same things every day. And then the second part of, once we've embraced novelty and creativity in our movements, our brains, our nervous systems, our bodies are designed to move, is this idea of rest or deep rest states. And here is where we actually lay down these new neural pathways, where we actually learn to integrate these kind of novel, creative, and effective ways of moving and integrate those pathways into our lives. So just these last few moments here, let yourself rest. Letting go as fully as you can. Soft belly. You're not trying to breathe deeply, you're just letting the air almost breathe you. And in that, you'll notice that as you get more and more relaxed, your breath usually gets softer and softer. So there's this correlation between becoming stiller in your body and more still in your breath. Very good. And then this last moments here, just try to just appreciate the body for whatever you're feeling here. Just invite accepting this kind of sweetness of self-love and self-compassion, the perfect imperfection of this moment. And then we'll come back into all of our senses. Just notice the air on your skin, the sounds in the room around you. Beginning little movements in your fingers and your toes. Taking some deep breaths, maybe stretching your arms and legs one last time. Breathing in new life and energy as you stretch. And then we'll bend our knees and we'll roll to one side. And then, so your head is the last thing to come up, so getting that nice integrated movement in your spine. We'll come back to a seated position. All right, so I hope this was helpful. I'm going to be posting more of these, so feel free to leave comments below if there's anything you'd like to practice more of. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for your practice. And we'll see you next time. Move well.